It's the EFL UKFF final. Bristol taking on the Great White Sharks of London in a 1 versus 3 matchup. We're live at the Barking Sporthouse. The officials are in place. We're just allowing the teams to go through their final paces of warm-up. My name is Darren Porter. Alongside me is Francis Overton. Francis, what a day we've been treated to so far.
We've had a brilliant day so far, thanks Darren. 3 games played, very entertaining. Results maybe have gone the way we sort of expected them to, but actually the way it's played out hasn't necessarily. Great White Sharks, who are about to witness competing for the title, had a bit of a struggle against UCM in the semi-final. For 2 periods they were held reasonably well at bay. It was only in the 3rd period that they slipped away into their usual classy skills, neat goals, convincing winners scoreline-wise in the end. Meanwhile, Bristol played in the first game that we saw this morning, scraping past Cambridge in a way. It was a very even match, and they'll be hoping that they are well up for this challenge against what has been the strongest team in the EFL this season.
Absolutely. Great White Sharks, let's just remind you, they're first in the standings heading into this weekend. 12 wins, a perfect 36-point season, a plus 91 goals differential, 110 scored, 19 against. They have conquered all before them, and now they've got Bristol trying to do what some people have seen as the impossible. Bristol, 3rd, 5 victories on the year, 4 draws, 3 defeats, 18 points in the season. They had a negative goal difference of -5, 53 scored, 58 conceded.
I mean, that is close goal difference, shows that they're probably a reasonably well-balanced team, but I think possibly the key statistic is that 2 of their 3 defeats for the season were against Great White Sharks. So they'll be looking to avenge those defeats in what is the most crucial game of the season.
Absolutely. Last time they played the Great White Sharks, they lost 9-1. Maximov's the solo scorer for Bristol that day, whereas Lattinen, he had a hat-trick. Urmanson, she had 2 assists. And Peteprina had 2 goals in that encounter. So, we're judging this as not a kit class. We've got orange and black versus red. The red of Bristol, the orange of the Great White Sharks. And it will be Bristol getting us underway for the first time.
Now, Bristol know that they're the underdogs in this game, but that doesn't mean they can't play with the sort of confidence that they know they can play at. They have some very talented players out there. It's just, can they keep Sharks at bay?
That's going to be the question that the Sharks will be posing for them all throughout this contest. Great White Sharks into centre already. Levi Lattinen, one of their real standout players of the season, had the opportunity in front. And now it's a 2-on-2, very well stood up by Maximovs, as that will stay in the rink. A long ball from Jan Reis, allowing Bristol to make some changes.
Yep, both teams putting in the energy in the first 30 seconds or so of the game, making their changes straight away.
Oh, interesting to talk about energy, because whilst both teams have had plenty of rest now, Great White Sharks have played more recently, and it was a really grueling, physical, as a shot on goal, deflected into the corner, Engström to chase, and Perina battling away. Max Does. As I was saying, it was a really physically grueling, mentally grueling contest, as that shot, I think, came off Olson.
Yeah, for the first 2 periods of the semi-final, Sharks really had to push hard against UCM, who pinned them back. It was 2-2 heading into the final minute of the 2nd period of that game. Both teams were really fighting hard, so that will have taken quite a lot out of Sharks, which they weren't necessarily hoping for as they came into today looking to make it to the final. They did run away with it a little bit in the third period of the semi-final, but they have played more recently than Bristol by a sort of couple of hours, so it is going to be interesting how tired the legs are.
Again, the depth and experience of this Sharks team will certainly benefit them physically and mentally as they get a free hit. On the far side board to the left, it's Chris Holmes with Adam Saletti, and Holmes gets the shot away. Blocked there by Rosberg. Rosberg driving down the left-hand side.
Bristol defenders quaking in their boots when they see Chris Holmes and Adam Saletti over the free hit, two of the league's top point scorers.
They're two very challenging players to defend, to deal with. Also rather combative, and they need to be.
Really pleased to have the referees here coming from Norway. They've had a great day. I think they've they came in with a lot of respect, but they've earned a lot of respect the way they've handled and managed the games. There have been some frustrated incidents and some frustrated players as the day has gone on, and they've explained their decisions very well, and the games have actually run very smoothly.
Yeah, very, very grateful for our Norwegian officials as that is centred, and very nearly a big opening for Bristol now on the counter attack. It's Levi Lattinen gets that pass away to Saletti now. Sharks centred Jeffrey into the corner. Saletti being hassled and harried. But Bristol will come away with it. Maximov's centred, shot on goal, over it goes. That's a really good spell from Bristol, and Jan Race knows how close he was to scoring.
And that's the first big chance of the final, and should have put it away. It was on his backhand and it was in the air, so it was a bit of a half volley. You think when you're that close to goal and you're in space, you're not being pressured by someone's arm on your shoulder or something like that, you've got to put the ball away in that instance. And Bristol may rue the chance going missing.
Well, there's a long, long way to go. That's through the legs of the defender, Ackmentons. Fredrik Olsen it was with the attempt, tries to centre. That will be high stick, called on Petter Bruna. They think it was only slightly above. Of course they do.
Yeah, not a very helpful pass to have to control right in front of the goal there, but whatever works, I suppose.
Really a lot of pressure there from Lars Mannes. Just to finish our thought on our Norwegian officials, Daniel Nord Warholm and Espen Schittner. Yeah, really grateful for them making the trip and adding so much to finals day. Their communication with players, with us, with the table, has all been absolutely first rate, and they've let the players play, but have obviously had to step in where necessary.
We spoke to them just before this game, and they were saying how sort of within the first period of the first game, they're gauging what the level is like, what the temperament of the players is like, and they've actually really enjoyed their day. Different kind of level to what they're used to from refereeing in Norway, but that's fine because they're all about the development of the sport.
Odermansson gets the shot away, save made. Sprzenieks, who was excellent against Cambridge, it has to be said. Cambridge had 28, the ball has been demolished. Cambridge had 28 shots in the final period, and I think one got by Sprzenieks. He was a wall.
Yes, I think in all the games that we've seen today, the goalkeepers have been excellent in general. Quality really high, they're very imposing. It obviously helps your team massively to have confidence in the goalkeeper behind you who's going to sort of pull out something special to keep your team in the game.
Lattinen driving down this right-hand side and being pressured in the corner by Maximovs and Race. Sundberg clears it to the opposite corner. 15 minutes left in this first period of play, so an awful lot of time, and it's effective time as well, which is an added challenge to these players. The day is much longer than what they are used to.
Yeah, effective time means that the clock is stopped whenever the ball goes out of play, so you're not losing game time when the ball is over the rink or there's been a foul or something like that.
That's a wonderful find to Saletti. Tom Jeffrey driving in, and Maximovs. I think adjudged to have impeded Saletti illegally. As the rink is put back in its rightful spot. That's Manis battling away with Perina. Really good battle there. Right in front of us, Perina. I think nominal victor in that one. As Olsen finds Perina, centre to Engström. Good saves for Zeniaks. Another whistle, another ball to the Great White Sharks.
That's a great save from the goalkeeper because the play was really nice from Sharks. We've seen it in their previous fixtures, the precision passing left the first time shot open, and the goalkeeper has really kept Bristol in touching distance at this point.
Fired just wide of goal. As the whistle blows, will be Bristol ball once more. Maximovs driving up the left-hand side. Pressured, good save, and really good save by Lucas Brandl-Cheng. It's the sort of one that a goalie might find a bit difficult to retain possession, as that's been picked up really nicely. Backhand effort. Brandl-Cheng once again with the good save. So that's been stolen away by Saletti. Saletti putting on the jet, driving through. It's still Saletti. He's dispossessed. Maximov's mere presence of him was enough, as race is denied by Brandl-Cheng.
That is phenomenal goalkeeping because Jan Rice was well in space there and only needed an extra touch to be able to fire the shot away. The goalkeeper had already anticipated the ball coming across him and had jumped out and saved with the legs there. Brilliant.
Yeah, he has been, a lot of the chatter around the league is just how good this guy is, and my goodness, he has really been showing it today. As this is nice play, Jeffrey trying to find Levi Lattinen, unable to on that occasion.
I think that was a bit fortunate, Bristol there. I think they were halfway through changes for their line when Sharks were coming forward, and they left a bit too much space, but Sharks not able to capitalise quite then.
Lattinen taking it a long way around. Zvoranovic. Saletti. Back to Zvoranovic. Switched across to Lattinen. As Alcier lost his stick. They're kicked away by Carlson, and there's that famous signature shot from Saletti. Nice turn in the midfield. That's been turned over. It was Rosberg was driving through. Tapped away. Rosberg once more.
I think there was a stick tackle in the midfield during that move. No advantage found for the Sharks player, so we're back in a free hit situation again.
Engström. Shot on net. Just wide. It's just been picked up by Peter Perina. Very dangerous play in a very dangerous spot. Perina, good save. I think that was off the leg of Spezenieks. Certainly had the position covered.
Those kind of shots are really good because you're firing the ball into an area where chaos is going to happen because of the pace of the shot. So you want your player to be standing right next to the goalkeeper, which he was, but sometimes a stuck leg out from the goalkeeper is enough to get the ball away.
Race just wide. Randall Cheng threw himself at it to try and bring it in. It was tapped behind goal, but Seb de Rivas now in possession for the Great White Sharks. Oh, that's just off the post. The outside of the post. The attempt from Enstrom. Miguel battling away with Peter Perina. A really good battle that. And it goes the way of Bristol. Maximov's driving up to the left-hand side, tries to get the shot away. Ermanson did a really good job defending him, preventing him up the floor. 10 minutes left in this opening period of play. Randall Cheng didn't know where that one went. It was through his legs, but onto the stick of his teammate, Adam Saletti.
Yeah, for once he'd actually lost the ball, but it was his defender who'd taken it off him. So, really, really good unit they have at the back, Sharks. They obviously know how to play with each other really well.
Absolutely, easily the most polished team in the country. That's Ermanson. Impeded legally. There's nobody quite sure where the ball is. Maximovs and Robinson. Wasn't quite shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to back, nothing much more than that. So a free hit. As for a second, Bristol playing with 4 players and completed the line change properly.
A little bit of composure here. So you can't always be playing at maximum pace.
Oh, good save, Spezenieks. On the speculative effort from Tvoronvinks.
Equally, when Sharks are showing their composure and passing it between themselves, Bristol can't let them just have the ball and have free shot like that onto a clear target. They've got to get closer. It's been well battled though so far, I think, this game.
Yeah, absolutely, very evenly matched. 2 very good teams. You don't make it to finals day without being a very good team. I mean, we saw what Cambridge did to UCM in the bronze medal match, and Bristol got past that team. So that's a really good find. Tom Jeffrey tried to put it onto the stick of a teammate in front with the backhand pass, didn't go. Saletti. Back inside, good block in fact by a Bristol defender. That was Akmentins. As that's been turned over, dangerous. Another fabulous save, Spezenieks. Referees didn't see it the way we did, and certainly not how Tvoronvinks saw it.
I was definitely a save there. He anticipated the shot again at the near post really well, got his shoulder in the way.
Maximovs with a risky cross-court pass. Did just enough. Frederick Olsson. Seb de Rivas. Happy just to be patient. Wait for an opening, wait for a mistake. Enstrom tries to centre. That's been taken away by Rosberg, who nowhere to go. Perina. Again, They're not afraid to use the body. As that's through to Rosberg. The Rivas using his frame, shielding the ball away.
That was an important shift at centre for Rosberg there. He intercepted what could have been a very dangerous opportunity in front of his own goal, and then was the one leading the charge at the front as well. You know, that's what you have to do as a centre. You are essentially the third defender and the third attacker if you play in the traditional floorball 2-1-2.
Is as Hermansson's shot saved. Yeah, he's had a very impressive season for Bristol. Has Rosberg, 12 points, 9 goals, 3 assists, and has had a very impressive day today. So that shot is blocked on its way through. Maximovs now driving down the left side. Reese. Shot on goal, took a touch on the way through, got spiked up. Tremelin sends it back to Sundberg. Race. Tremelin shoots! Oh! Bristol take the lead in the final. Zach Tremelin on the assist from Reese.
That was a thunderbolt of a finish there. Good play again. Sharks has actually committed 2 of their forwards to go and track one Bristol defender in the Bristol half, which left the space down this left-hand side for Bristol. A single pass in, Zach Tremelin's danced inside and fired a shot into the top left corner. Brilliant finish. Bristol taking the lead.
Excellent finish, excellent floorball, and to be honest, they look perfectly good for that lead, Bristol. They've defended well and they've made life difficult going forward. Las Manis, we've not seen quite as much of as we might expect. Hassling Soletti, told not to go too far forward. It sneaks through. Sprzinic thought he had it. Don't know if it went through his hands and then his legs, but either way, it found its way onto the stick of Tom Jeffrey and into the back of the net. He is going to be hurting for that one. His player's going over to him, giving him support, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, unfortunate for goalkeeper. It happens. It squirmed under his leg, but also credit to Tom Jeffrey at the back post as the ball has been crossed diagonally into him. He's right there and ready, waiting, expecting the goalkeeper to make a mistake so he can score the easiest goal of his career.
Absolutely. It's a good pass, good find, as well as Engström looking to go backhand with the shot attempt. Couldn't catch up to it.
And that's great for Sharks because they've just gone behind.
That's a really good battle.
They go behind, but they've immediately come back within a minute, settle some of those nerves that they might have felt immediately after conceding. So still so much to play for in this game.
Perina leading Maximovs on a merry dance, shoots it wide. So 5 left in the period. We're tied at 1. Adam Soletti not happy with options ahead of him as it's turned over. Soletti gets it right back. Driving through Soletti, centering pass. Shot from Chris Holmes. And now Race taking it the other way, skips by 1. Good brave goalkeeping coupled with very strong defence. Nick Yao battling away on halfway for Bristol. What a game we are being treated to. Not much time left in the first period of play as Hermansson just able to wander up. They can't see it on the screen, which is right by our commentary position on the wing. Now we'll pick it. Now we'll be picked up by the defender. But immediately played a pass into the centre, lost the ball. And there's a little bit of frustration with some of the Sharks players. Things aren't quite connecting like they expected.
But on the other hand, the Bristol players are showing a really good level of composure here to keep their heads. They know that Sharks are going to come at them at times, but they're making good use of the counter-attacks, and it's given them some chances.
Robinson drops it into the corner for Robinson. Tremelin, the goal scorer, picks the pocket. Carlson is there to get it right back. Slows. Was driving one way, decided to go the other. A foul, too much contact in the back. Good ball movement by the Sharks. Sprzeniak alive to it, started to bring his body out, anticipating a more lateral movement. Travo. Spornix decided to go near side instead. So that's a little bit too much from Saletti. That's Manis, very unhappy with it. That's that ball centered, but won by the Sharks. Still the Great White Sharks. Again, as bodies going flying, sticks go flying. Maximovs it was on the deck. It's going to be Bristol ball.
It's become a little bit more physical in the last couple of minutes.
Just a little bit. Maximovs dumps it into the corner. Lasmanis. He of the Zorro, and that's going to be just a free hit. Referee whistling to have a conversation with Maximovs, who is really unhappy about the lack of a penalty.
The foul itself was quite cynical. I think the two players sort of clashed a little bit about a minute or so ago, and
that's a fine idea. Maximov sending the ball through, looking for that Kamenek little touch in front of goal. As Kamenek goes with a backhand from a long way away, centered it. It's looking good. Nobody there to capitalise on the pass from Maximov. So now a 2-on-1 situation the other way. The Sharks looking to take the lead. And that will go wide. Petterbrina. Oh, sorry, not Petterbrina. Levi Latinen batting away in the corner for it. Carlson back to Latinen. Shoots on goal. Blocked. Latinen sends it back to Seb de Rivas.
Bristol have got their shape back now, but they had lost it for that counter-attack the Sharks pushed forward a minute ago, and they were very much under threat there. But if Sharks aren't going to make the most of the opportunities when they come, then they're not going to take control of the game in the way that they're going to want to be doing. So Bristol are still going to remain calm, keep pushing forward when they can, and stay patient.
Yeah, it's good ball movement from the Sharks. Patient. Enström. For the Golson. Shot. Saved. And then a foul on Sundberg, or against Sundberg. Gives it a free hit for Bristol. So just a little bit of steam released on the pressure valve just for a moment as Perina saved by Sprzeniak. And into the side netting gathered by the experienced goalie.
He held his hamstring there.
Yeah, he did immediately. He stays on the rink, but he cannot run, not like he wants to. So So he's going to come back and try and defend, but he's going to need a change. And that's Race asking for the sub. Also, this possesses Ermansson immediately. That's sent forward. Holmes takes it down, goes for the shot between his legs. You know he scored from that in the past. You just know he has. And that will do it. The end of the first 20 minutes of play. And what a cracker it has been. Great White Sharks of London 1, Bristol 1.
Yeah, brilliant first period. I think both teams can be quite pleased. I think Bristol will be the more pleased because they scored first. They've looked quite composed. Their shape has been good for the most part. And they're not out of it against a team where we might have thought there'd be more goals for Sharks in this game, but it's 1-1.
Sharks 23 shots in the first period, Bristol 13 shots in the first period, but I think both sides have looked about equally as dangerous, as competitive as one another. So
yeah, I think the stats don't suggest that the teams are not even. I think Sharks do tend to get a lot of shots away because they quite like the idea of firing the ball into the danger areas. Yeah, it's been really even. I think both teams will now have a chance over the next couple of minutes in between periods to catch your breath, firstly, because it's a frantic game, but also think about how they might switch things up, whether that be a formation change or a personnel change to one of the lines, or even just a tactic in terms of how do you approach what to do when you get the ball, for example. These are things that they will have spoken about before the game, but sometimes you have to make these dynamic adjustments to make sure that you are responding to the environment of the situation that you're in and improving and progressing. And when the score is 1-1, you know, both teams are still in the game, so you have to go on and be on the front foot and win it.
So, as the players are taking a quick breather, I think we are very much deserving of one as well. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time. At the end of one here in the final, Sharks 1, Bristol 1. Very warm welcome back. It is the UKFF EFL, the English Floorball League National Final 2025. Second period just getting underway. Bristol 1. They're in the red uniforms. In the orange is the Great White Sharks of London. They have won as well.
So we're going into second period now. You're not close to the end of the game. You're still in the game because the score is equal. You have to approach this with a calm mentality. Absolutely, and that turnover there from the Sharks, not the calmest mentality. Though I think the Sharks, they like a little bit of needle in their games. They like a little bit of that agginess that we saw with their UCM game. That will suit them to the ground as that will sneak through. That will suit Bristol down to the ground. Goal's going to go to Patrick Kemenacek. It came about, again, turnover, and then free hit, put into a good area, and a good finish. Well, interesting, because I'm not really sure what Sharks were doing. They were very static. Unlike the usual sort of dynamic movement that a defensive block might produce. And the player, Patrick Kemenacek, was just completely open in front of the goal. The shot has squirmed under the goalkeeper, which again is unfortunate, similar to the Sharks goal earlier. But yeah, unsure what the defence was thinking in that moment. Yeah, maybe not quite set, not quite ready for that particular action. Now they're going to look to get it right back. That's a wonderful save
Sprozeniaks did a great job there to deny Max Jones. Sent it through, Sprozeniaks again called into action. Engström not able to direct the second attempt on goal. The Rivers calling for it at the back.
Well, Sharks equalised very quickly after Bristol had taken the lead in the first period.
That's Olsson to cut across you, but that was the sort of thing that's going to lead to an equaliser. That massive screen from Olsson as the Sharks just building the pressure.
The Sharks' response has been fast again. That's 3 shots they've had already since the Bristol goal. But they haven't scored. You know, Bristol need to stick to what they were doing. Stay calm. You know you're probably going to have slightly less of the ball, but try and make the most of it when you have it and see if you can now take advantage and build your lead even further.
Tremelin trying to do just that as Bernard. That's out of play. You're absolutely right. They are now going to be under the pump a lot more, under pressure even more. Because the Sharks, they're not used to going behind, being behind. They don't like it. And they like to get a lot of the ball, get a lot of the shots.
And the players are very passionate for the game as well. So we're going to see heightened emotions as we get closer towards the final whistle, especially if the game is close. So yeah, still a lot of intrigue left in this one.
Absolutely. Good passing move down this right-hand side, centred. Tremelin not quite able to get it onto his stick quite like he'd have liked to. And I'm going to call that a wise play from Patrick Sundberg there, just drawing the foul a little bit from Aki Peltonen.
And good from the referee as well, because the foul happened a little earlier than he actually called it, but he waited a moment to see if Patrick could get away with the ball, but he couldn't, so good advantage from the referee.
Sundberg.
Patrick Sundberg, we should say, brilliant director for the English Football League this season, done a lot of the organising.
As the director of the league, doing a fantastic job. Taken over from Elvis Sarkans, who did a wonderful job for a number of seasons. So the future of the league in good hands, state of the league in good hands. That's moving down the wings, good switch of play, shots on net, Maximovs with the block. Latanen tries to switch it over to Saletti. Saletti to move inside. Sprozeniaks with the save, with the legs. Thought it had trickled through, wasn't 100% sure where it was. Took a breath, composed himself. Bristol able to move with it now. Good battle on the rink boards. But now it's Great White Sharks ball.
They're inviting the pressure a little bit now, Bristol. Quite deep with their defensive line. The clearance away a moment ago was like a lofted ball that's quite difficult to control. They're going to face the pressure from Sharks now.
Blocked from Yao, Perina it was, getting in the way of that clearing effort. Mark Stones. Good pressure down this right-hand side, trying to force a mistake out of Seb de Rivas. And in fact, a little bit of a mistake there as the big frame of Bernard making life difficult. Shot on goal, just wide from Rosberg. 15 left in the second period of play.
Well, it's still a long way to go. You know, the players don't need to be panicking at this point.
Olivier Hermansson being hassled and harried in the corner. Aki Beltonen now takes over. Stefan Marlin centres to Saletti. Great pass, great find for Beltonen. Good second action from the Sharks there. Aki Beltonen stays battling with it. Tries to clear it to Saletti. That's no ball on the play. And now even spectators remonstrating with the officials. Shots on goal saved by Sprzenieks. That was a physical stoppage by Saletti on Lasmanis, and now Lasmanis is asking the officials.
They had a little clash in the first period as well. It was quite a dramatic fall from Lasmanis there, as the referee calls a timeout. But actually the referee played advantage, so it would have been a free hit to Bristol there for a foul from Saletti, but teammate picked it up and had the shot, so the advantage was played and taken.
So, stoppage with a fan being asked to step out of the venue.
It seems like the referees noticed a disruptive person outside of the game.
Not involved in either team, not involved in the game. Been asked to leave the ringside area.
Seems like it might be one of the UCM players who received a red card match penalty in the previous game and therefore shouldn't be in the venue.
Well, certainly, match officials reserve the right to ask anybody to vacate the playing area or the arena. Even our camera operator could be asked to leave should they impede the contest. So, bit of a stoppage, bit of a break, heightened emotions, as we know, but how is this break in play going to be helping both or either side?
Well, firstly, you catch your breath, which I say every time at the end of every period and in the timeouts and so on. It's time to actually breathe, get your heart rate down a little bit and prepare yourself for the next one. Also, I think both teams are feeling, it hasn't been the most physical game so far, so maybe they're saving some energy for the final period, the final last push towards the title. There's only one goal in it, so you're reflecting on that in this moment as well. What can you do as a player to make sure that you are contributing to your team and also at the other end not letting your team down? So all these sort of things are going through your head suddenly when you have this break in play that is nothing to do with you in that sort of way. You've got to remain focused on the game. And as soon as the whistle goes, that was not the whistle to restart the game. As soon as the whistle does go to restart the game, you're right back in game mode, thinking about your tactics, your teammates, focusing on things, even some of the basics, controlling the ball, making sure you're playing an accurate pass, being ready for the shot if the ball comes towards you, that sort of thing. So lots of things could be going through your head. I'm sure lots of players also sort of rely on their instincts to make sure that they're getting through the game as smoothly as possible. Discussions ongoing with the difficult person.
So the secretariat who was dealing with it has returned to their post. So what I will often refer to as table officials, officially known in the books as secretariat.
So we're back. It looks like that person has now left. So hopefully no more stoppages for this game and the players can focus on winning the title.
Saletti driving through. There's a high stick somewhere in there. I think that was a high stick by a Bristol player. Yes, it was.
Good drive from Saletti though. Restarting this little period with some power as the shot goes just wide.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. Had Sprezeniec sprawling. 2-1 Bristol lead. Good pressure. But equal to it is Patrick Sundberg. That's some risky passes. That was the least risky of them all in the end. Sundberg puts it through. That's really good proactive goaltending from Brandel Cheng. Saletti's dispossessed. It's now with Levi Lattinen. Maximovs tries to send it into the corner. Engström enters the fray.
Bristol expended a lot of energy in that 20-second period there. Some tired faces already.
Olsen sends it back to the Rivas. Really solid defensive structure right now from Bristol. Olsen went to screen. Won't get by the back line for the Great White Sharks. Centered. Olsen into the side netting. Sprezeniec. Never worried.
Bristol's surviving really well. They're still coming under pressure. They will continue to come under pressure, but doing well in this moment.
It's Nick Yao in possession. Taking things calm. Johan Alciot centres, shot over just from Zach Tremelin.
It's a good effort. It came at him really fast. It's gone over the bar, but yeah, it's Bristol showing that they can still keep going forward, even though they're sort of focusing on defending their lead as well.
Obviously, a one goal, like a 2-1 lead, it's not much of a lead. Until the last second of the game. As Holmes trying to make life difficult for the Bristol defenders. Ball's in the corner. Coming away on the left flank, Saletti chipping away at the ball carrier. Whipped around the boards. And it's 2-on-1. Holmes not able to get back to Ernemannsson. It's a penalty shot. Once again, Great White Sharks. I say once again, it wasn't the Sharks, it was Bristol who had the penalty shot.
That's right, the first goal of today.
Absolutely. Sprezeniec will be the goalie.
Big moment this. Sharks 2-1 down. Chris Holmes has won them a penalty shot, which is fantastic for them. But what can the goalkeeper do to put the player off, make sure that their Bristol keep their lead? Big moment in the game.
Daniel Svoranovic ahead against Sprezeniec. So bringing the ball up slowly. Now he gets two hands on the stick. Trying to deke out the keeper. Oh, he got him out of his shoes and he ties it 2-2. Daniel Svoranovic with a fine finish.
Really nice. Obviously he has practiced his penalties because his approach was very deliberate, side to side. With the 2022 IFF rules, either one of the ball or the player have to be moving forward at all times. So the player can be moving their stick around to move the ball backwards and forwards to put the goalkeeper off. And actually it was quite a simple sidestep in the end. Goalkeeper went one way and the net was gaping for the goal scorer, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for goalies. You have to try and remain patient. As a fabulous save from Sprezeniec. That was Lattinen with the effort from right in front of goal. but through again.
Goalkeeper staring down and pointing at the scorer there. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, he just caught his fingers as that's been turned over. Great save with the cage of Sproseniaks. As Maximovs having to retreat behind his goal. Try to lure a foul out of Saletti.
Yeah, Bristol goalkeeper have been busy in the last minute. Great save though. I mean, you just got to get anything behind the shot, and it was his helmet on this occasion.
Yeah, no, really good save after the turnover. And yeah, the reason why he was pointing and staring down is it looks like he got a little nick on the hands, which again, we don't want as goalies. We don't want our fingers broken. We don't want to get injured, and it really hurts as well.
I'm sure that's not rare for goalkeepers to get off a punt on the knuckles.
Of course, it happens in games, it happens in training, but you're not supposed to be in that area. This is a great drive by Rosberg. The Rivas really physical, trying to stop him.
Nice, that's good. Rosberg's brought his team all the way up in a moment where they were under pressure, having a lot of shots against them.
Centred, Rosberg just can get it on his stick now. Engström has Peter Perina, the very dangerous Peter Perina ahead of him. Sproseniaks. Ooh, bit of a risky pass in the end there from Sproseniaks. It wasn't looking particularly dangerous, but Perina was about. Oh, that's come off really, unfortunately, off the boards. No harm, no foul in the end, but Bristol just hemmed in, can't get clear. Now they will. Maximovs driving through. That bit of contact from Perina put him off, and now Engström going the other way. Blocked by Sundberg. And that'll be out of play.
Yeah, since scoring the penalty, Sharks have decided to press really hard, not give Bristol defenders any time, whereas before we were seeing a little bit more of a sort of relaxed approach to the press, a sort of midway press. So this is quite interesting from Sharks. They know that they've got Bristol in their sights. They want to take advantage of this momentum that they built in this second period.
Saletti sends it down the line to Aki Peltonen. Chris Holmes in the middle, swarmed and stolen away. Though Holmes getting it right back. Hermansson got a stick caught under her feet. And now Yao going to try and carry it forward. Hand it off. We got a whistle. It's going to be a free hit to Bristol.
Yeah, good win again. That's Nick Yao. Won a good tackle against Chris Holmes in his own corner. And then has pulled the ball forward and won a free hit for his team, giving everyone a little bit of a breather.
Akmentin sends it forward. Saletti blocks it into the corner. Back with Saletti now. Saletti taking it all the way around. Nick Yao doing a really good job to stay with him defensively. Sporanovics. It's Marlin making the change. Sporanovics denied by Sproseniaks. Played in behind. And Saletti, Tom Jeffrey wanting in on the action. Saletti only eyes for, well, forward. Lattinen not able to get the purchase behind his shot that he was hoping for.
Bristol happy just to hit the ball away so they can make their changes, but it's a bit slow.
Good save once again by Sproseniaks. Not expecting a shot there, I wouldn't have thought. Again, goalies always have to stay alive as that's been turned over. Very good forechecking. Levi Lattinen centres. Jeffrey just wide. Stays in the rink. Maximovs now driving through. Told to stand up. see the faces and the body language of players as they leave the floor. They are suffering, they are feeling every shift. And there's still another period of play after this. Adam Engström putting on the pressure, making life difficult. About 6 minutes left in the period. Period that has seen an enforced brief stoppage in it. It's also given us a couple of goals. John Alcio with the illegal stick tackle. The official, you really saw, tried to play advantage, but there was no forward momentum, so no advantage to be given.
That's okay for Sharks because they wanted to have the ball in a composed way anyway. It was given away quite cheaply though.
Chris Holmes able to win the penalty, or win the free hit, should I say. Got a little bit of a clatter in the back of the head for his troubles. It's Ermansson unable to direct her shot forwards. Nick Yao battling away with Aki Peltonen. He gets full named by his teammates. Saletti trying to centre. Who has it now? It's still with the Sharks. Saletti stepping forward, saw a lane, tried to drive it. Really good defending from Bristol though. Maximovs just behind Alcia. Maximovs once again centres on goal. Fine save and grab from Brandel Cheng. And here's what's important, he hasn't had a touch in ages, Brandel Cheng.
I was going to say, he has not been busy in this period. But nice reactions, jumped out to catch the ball really neatly there.
It's very difficult when called upon just to be ready to go like that. Latinen. Saletti. Back to Sprzeniak saves with the kick save, and as he was rolling and sprawling, he pulls it out of the air. That was fabulous, and fans of both teams are on their feet enjoying that.
Oh, Bristol Heart skipped a beat there. He nearly kicked the ball into his own net, but caught it in the end.
It's called style, Francis. As Carlson coming away with it. Goes back into the corner with Levi Latinen. Max Dorrans. As that does make its way through to Engström. Back to Seb de Rivas. Zach Tremelin. Frederick Olsen's going to take it the other way. Peter Perina has runners with him into the side netting. Gathered by Sprzeniak. 3 minutes left in the second period of play. Jan Elsier unable just to keep it in play. It was asking an awful lot of him.
Yeah, tough one to control when you're right on the edge of the ring.
Peter Perina goes behind goal, has Olsen as one target, Max Durns as another. Except the Rivers not thinking about the shot. Oh, this is skillful, silky play from Durns. And immediately has some defending to do. Nothing in that, says the officials. Tremelin put it behind net. For Bristol to chase, but it's Peter Perina now. Great White Sharks. Slowing things down, getting some changes.
This Sharks line, they love pushing one of their forwards all the way up You wouldn't have been able to see it because the ball's in the Sharks' half, but they had one of the forwards right on the goalkeeper, waiting for the long ball to come up to them. But they have now given away a free hit.
Yeah, Soletti just stepped inside the goal crease, which is not allowed. So it will be a free hit in a dangerous area. Does Las Manes have some special magic for us? He sure does. A little Zorro effort. Good save by Brandel Cheng. Maximovs is there, preventing the keeper from diving on the loose ball. Alcier in a battle now with Holmes. Holmes gets by him. Oh, what a challenge by Rosberg. Ball. He doesn't need to appeal. The officials already called it as it's out of play. Alcier, what a bit of defending.
Yeah, that was quality. Tracks Chris Holmes all the way back. Absolute full pelt. And he's got his stick in the way of the intended shot. Brilliant.
That was absolutely stunning as two efforts. One saved, one off the crossbar of the side netting, it looked like. It's illegal use of the stick. As it's all the way back with Patrick Sundberg.
We haven't had this in this period, but this is Bristol putting on the pressure onto the Sharks' defence now, which they'll be really pleased about, heading into the final break.
Yeah, not long left now at all in the final period. In the second period. As Jeffrey taking it up the floor now for the Great White Sharks. Tom Jeffrey offering for it as Ermanson takes a break. Good ball movement. For Ronovics is the recipient of that pass from Carlson. Maximovs, good battle, and that will be a 2 minutes for Carlson.
No bad blood, but that was a mighty challenge.
I mean, you've got two very big, powerful units, a lot of energy coming together.
Match Secretariat was very much in danger in that moment. But,
my friends, we were all in danger in that moment. So 2 minutes. So that's going to 22 seconds to finish off this period. And assuming there is no goal scored, they will start the next period with a player advantage.
I might be wrong. This is the first penalty of the game, I think.
No, you are not wrong. This is the first penalty of the game.
So it's the first,
except for the penalty shot.
Penalty shot, yeah.
As that's been dispossessed by Maximovs. And once again, Maximovs using the chest, and that will do it. The end of 2. We're tied at 2. Great White Sharks and Bristol are putting on an absolute clinic for us now. And let me just say this. That's a really good outcome for Bristol, for them to have that player advantage going into the third.
Yeah, I mean, that completely changes how you would approach the break normally. 30 seconds before the end of the period, both teams will be thinking about how to plan their structure for the final period, make sure they're conserving energy but using what they need at the right times. But now, Bristol surely are going to be spending this next couple of minutes talking about how they're going to score in the first minute and a half of the next period while they have a player advantage. Really interesting. Also good that this is sort of the first penalty of the game. It's been well contested, not overly physical, so both teams are approaching the game in a fair way. They're both challenging for the EFL title in a positive way, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they come back out.
And the game's been played in a great spirit. We're going to take a couple of moments now to rest and recuperate ourselves before what is going to be a fantastic final period of play. End of 2 here at the EFL National Final. Great White Sharks 2, Bristol 2. Very warm welcome back. Final period of the national final. Great White Sharks 2, Bristol 2. Bristol with a player advantage for the next couple of, minute and a half or so.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you put your game plan into action. We've just had 2 minutes to talk about how to approach this minute and a half. It's very patient to begin with.
Bristol taking things slowly. I was going to say, then that's Manis. Very obvious block from two bodies. It would have taken something incredible to get past those two in that moment.
Yeah, we've seen Sharks have been playing with quite a few power plays in the previous games today, and they've taken advantage of them really well in that they pass fast, incisively, and get those first-time shots off. That's what Bristol need to replicate in this moment.
Sundberg drops off to Yao. That's Manis. Back on the outside. Happy to play on the perimeter right now. Shot across the goal of Brandel Cheng. Just seconds remaining now on the penalty. And that's turned over. Tom Jeffrey finds Latinen, centred, scores! The short-handed goal. Daniel Taranovic's, his second of the game, makes it 3-2.
Oh, that's phenomenal for Sharks. I mean, that's quite a rare sight, scoring when you are a player down. And it looked quite easy in the end as well. Bristol committed all their players forward to try and make the most of their power play. And in the end, it was 3-on-1 for the Sharks players, and he's tapped into an empty net. They've taken the lead, despite being a player down still for the next few seconds. Wow, what a start to this period.
Well, we did speculate whether or not having the player advantage might prevent the Sharks doing what they did to UCM in their semi-final clash. The answer to that is an emphatic nope.
I love that.
As Maximovs loses his footing, the Rivas sends it the length of the floor. Just seconds remaining, and now the Sharks have not only killed the penalty, they have won the penalty with that goal. Up to even strength, Adam Enström driving through. Petsaparina in possession. Maximovs trying to gather possession. Too much, it was a high stick, wasn't it? Too much pressure from Olsen's Hayes.
High stick, but it's given Bristol the chance to regroup a little bit. So you don't expect to be conceding during your own power play, but that is what has happened. Now they need to come back against what has been the strongest team in the league so far this season.
Aki Peltonen sends it back to Chris Holmes. Gets it back from Saletti, does Holmes. Peltonen in the corner, trying to centre. Spuzenieks, really good job getting to the ball. Has only cleared as far as Stefan Marlin on the halfway. Saletti finds Holmes once again. Plays in the centre. Not able to get to it. Who comes away with it? You know it's Adam Saletti.
Looks like Sharks have done something we said at the end of the first period, which is change some personnel on their lines. Unless I'm mistaken and they were sort of mid-rotation while the play was still going on. But it looked like some players were playing in different positions than they were before. Which is kind of good because you want to be able to shake things up. You know, ultimately if you're bringing on the same line in the same positions, you might stop winning individual battles.
As Levi Latinen gathers, sends it back to Saletti. Latinen once again. Gets central, good save. Spazeniec gets a hand to it. It's going to be Bristol ball.
Bristol aren't necessarily in a rush here either. They know there's time left. They're only a goal behind. Okay, they have led twice in this game and are now behind, but there's always time. It only takes 1 second to score a goal in floorball, and Bristol are still very much in this game. They have played very well. Sharks are growing in confidence. They've taken some warming up. I think the approach largely remains the same for both teams as we extend our way into this third period.
Farina pressured, and the ball went back to Seb Derivas. Max Stearns switches it to Farina. Gets the shot away. Spazeniec had it covered. Maximovs and Olson battling away. So switching out the left side of Bristol. The rest of the team not changing. Maximovs discussing things with his players on the bench. As Peltonen getting to the middle. Good bit of defending from Bristol. It's a slightly deep pass. Stops any counter-attack possibility that time. Another good save, Brandel Cheng. Fans in attendance really enjoyed it. Robinson's shot blocked. And now a good battle between him and Barnhart. Alcio gets the shot away. Brandel Cheng with the save. Oh, that one was a dangerous shot attempt. It took a touch on the way through. As that comes off the post even more dangerously, that time from Levi Lattinen. This is all Sharks right now. Bristol, desperate need of a breather. They need to get possession, they need to get the ball clear.
Yeah, Sharks are looking fresher in this moment. Bristol struggling to keep hold of the ball now, and Sharks are very happily passing it around. They found themselves in some really nice pockets of space, especially out wide, which is what they used to great effect in their semi-final against UCM. So yeah, Bristol need a little bit of a mental reset here to bring their energy back, make sure they don't get overwhelmed in this game as they're still in it.
It's tiki-taka floorball. It's passing the opposition to death. If you've got the ball, you don't have to move so much. Maybe off the ball, sure, but you're letting the ball do the work as Las Manis picks it up in the centre now. Shot just over. He's got one goal already, Patrick Kamenicek, in this contest. But to finish my thought, they are being made defensively to work so hard because they've got to be always right where they need to be. Whereas the ball just able to pass it around.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you're defending against that, your line changes are really important because you need to make sure that your players who are having to defend against that are at their sharpest possible. And a tired player isn't going to be able to defend properly. So, yeah, Bristol needs to remain very focused at this moment. They had that chance just then and possibly could have done better with it. Would have brought them back into the game.
Asmanis, good, clean dispossession of Saletti. Saletti didn't seem to think so, but he doesn't have the whistle. That's Chris Holmes and Rosberg with an interesting coming together. Aki Peltonen shot wide and over.
Another shot wide and over, but yeah, I'm a little bit surprised there wasn't a free hit there called for Sharks because Rosberg was very much holding on to Holmes.
The officials saw it, and it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, which from their vantage point very well could see something we missed. Alcio tries to centre. It was kicked up by the goaltender, Brandel Cheng. Oh, that's a lovely layoff. Latterman tried to give it back to him, gets it back behind his own goal, behind the Bristol goal, and that shot attempt from Jeffries is wide.
They're finding themselves in great positions now, though, Sharks. This wasn't happening earlier in the game. A little bit more space for these first-time shots. They just need to bring the accuracy, and they've got another goal in them for sure.
Oh, I think both sides have goals in them still. So we love goals, of course we do, but I really enjoy like a tense, low-scoring goaltender duel. Again, I am a goalie, I'm part of the union.
Yeah, I'm a forward, so the fact that this isn't 10-all is, it's been a great contest. I mean, both teams. I still don't think we've seen actually the maximum effort from both teams in this game. Maybe they are leaving a little bit of their energy right to the end.
Yeah, it's such a that effective time. We spoke about it earlier. It makes such a difference. The game is so much longer than what they were used to. As that very nearly was the chance for 3-3. The goal was open, but wasn't able to get his stick anywhere near the ball as De Rivas sends it up the left side to Perina, blocked on its way through into the corner. Engström, you just feel something's brewing, something's going to happen. Engström tried to go for the Michigan, didn't come off that time. Max Dearns asking for the pass over here, it's not coming his way, but to Perina's shot over, and Bristol with the possession.
A bit of a manic section of the game, that one. All but two of the players on the rink, well, three I suppose, including the goalkeeper, were right in front of the goal there. Bristol defending, Sharks attacking. Very frantic.
Maximov's dispossessed there by Aki Beltonen, and it will be a free hit in the corner for the Sharks. Saletti on the rink. He will take it the second time again. I know that you're a big admirer of his passing ability.
Just very impressed with the sort of on-the-ball leadership that he shows. I think it really helps the team to have someone so confident on the ball.
So that's been cleared right the way back to Saletti. Robinson drops it up to Aki Belton. He's got Holmes ahead. Ten minutes left in the National Final 2025. Voronovic drops it off to Saletti. Gets it back. Fires a shot. One of the few shots saved by Sproseniaks that wasn't immediately gathered up on the rebound. Is that a sign of tiredness? Free hit right in front. Saletti sent it to the wing. Oh, Jeffrey sneaks it through, sneaks it under. A well-worked play. It was, I'd say, a really well-worked move.
Well, you say well worked. I mean, it's a great finish in the end because he's really fired that in very quickly. But actually, it came from a mishit cross. I think Bristol would be really disappointed that sort of a scuffed cross has landed right at the stick of Tom Jeffrey, who's fired it in. And he's given the Sharks a 2-goal lead now as we get a timeout.
Bristol wanting to talk things over because, well, obviously, with just under 10 minutes left in the contest and conceding a goal that you can see the body language. I mean, guys were on the floor anyway, trying to block it, defend it, but they stayed down. Well, it's Jeffrey, because we didn't see it clean from our vantage point, and certainly they weren't expecting to concede in that manner, like you said.
I think if this ends up being the result with Sharks winning, from a Bristol perspective, it's killer that they conceded the goal while they had a player up on their power play right at the start of this period. Maybe there was some very loud whistle, some very sort of demotivating, emotions going on in that moment, and they've held on really well, and I think they've still battled well. But the Sharks' quality is so high for this level of floorball that with a 2-goal lead now, this is going to have to be a monumental effort from Bristol to bring it back.
It's the quality, it's the relentlessness. It's just, all of it is just so tough to deal with. They are always at this level, it seems. As Engström, his shot takes a lot of contact on the way through to the corner. Karina. Max Stearns. Centres, saved by Sprzenieks. On the follow-up, Elson. Great save by Sprzenieks again. Somebody blocked it on the way through that time from Engström's effort. High stick there. So it's going to go the way of the Great White Sharks.
Oh, the second save in that sequence was phenomenal, sticking his right hand out, hoping for the best in a way, but managed to parry the ball away fantastically. Really, really good from the goalkeeper.
Very, very good positioning, awareness, and I suppose understanding of where that shot is likely to go in that circumstance. It's just such an experienced player, Sprzenieks. So that's cleared off the boards. As far as Saletti, it feels like a long time since we've seen the ball over this side of the rink. It's allowing a breather of sorts for Bristol, as that's a great find through for Robinson, who put his attempt just wide. Holmes drops it back to Peltonen, all the way back to Saletti. Into the middle for Peltonen. Holmes is approaching the back stick now. Really patient play from the Sharks. Bristol needing to dig deep, but at the same time, so I think they're happy to catch their breath for just a moment. As there's a 4-up for the Sharks. Dvoranovic, his shot was blocked on the way through. Saletti. Lattinen. Back to Saletti. Saletti tries to get that whip backhand. There it is. It's something else, ain't it?
That's a great strike. I mean, the power on the backhand. That's brilliant.
How many stick plays do you think he goes through in a season? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what colour is pink in the sequence?
As that's a fine effort. Rosberg following up. Good defence from Carlson. And now, defending to do for Sundberg. All the way down to Alcio. Alcio impeded by Saletti. A really good battle between those two. Again, no strangers to one another throughout the years of competition in the EFL. Really smart move by Maximos, trying to move the ball up the floor for Bristol. Jeffrey shot, good save. Sprzenieks gets them all off their feet in the arena. Maximov's now battling away. That looked like a high stick. I want to say it's from Saletti. It's going to be a free hit to Bristol.
Important save. It was really good play from Sharks again, and Tom Jeffrey bearing down on goal with a nice strike on target. But get your helmet in the way again.
It lifts the mood of you, of your players, must be such a boost to your goalie. Really steal one. As Brandel Cheng makes the save. And now it's 2-on-1. As that is some robust defending. So, referee on this side, closer to the play, was calling for the players to get up. The trail ref saw it differently. So Rosberg heading to the penalty bench. Holding is the call. He'll get 2 minutes.
It's sort of one of those where you might call it a professional foul, in the sense that had he not made that challenge, which was a bad challenge, the Sharks player probably would have scored, or at least had a very good chance of having a goal in there. So unfortunate. But the thing is, he's now off for 2 minutes, and Sharks are going to try really hard to make the most of this power play, because it would seal their dominance in this period.
Great White Sharks moving the ball around quite nicely. Slip the river, sends it back to Jones. Back to Peter Perina. Sundberg putting a little bit of pressure on Perina there. It's the Rivers, not able to gather it cleanly the first time. Engström. Fredrik Olsson. Jones. Just knocking it about. Not rushing. Not stressing. That's Perina. Good shot, good save. It's Zeniaks. Tries to go for the launched effort. That was denied. And that's been turned over. Olsson batted away by Nick Yao. It's a one-on-one now with Maximovs and Saletti. Maximovs coming off the second best. Peter Perina is dispossessed by Maximovs, though. Brilliant recovery effort.
A good track back because he pushed forward. I mean, Bristol scored on their own penalty kill earlier in the game, but much tireder legs in this on this occasion. Sharks are just happy to play it out, though, it seems, waiting for that opportunity. Pass it around until you get a very clear shot on goal.
Got a 2-goal cushion in this contest. They can afford to kill time, kill clock, and like you say, wait for that perfect chance, because they're going to get a look that they really like, with statistically one of the best shooters in the country. As the penalty has expired, but the pressure remains. Jeffrey tries to switch it across. Levi Latin has it in the corner. Hassle by Nick Yao. That's going to be an opportunity to get clear. Akmentis chips it along. It leaves the rink. Three minutes left in the national final. Bristol trail by 2. The Sharks are up 4-2. Great White Sharks, champions last year, undefeated in the league, being made to really earn this should they take the victory today.
Yeah, it's not been a walk in the park for them today, for sure. They've really had to push for this. But, I mean, even that, an example of some of the skill that they display is really great to see.
That's a really messy midfield duel there. Great save a moment before from Sprzenieks.
What does Bristol do in this moment? Because you've got 2.5 minutes or so to go. You need 2 goals. But if you push forward, Sharks are going to punish you. It's really tough.
They need goals, but to push forward, you need possession. And they haven't seen a lot of the ball in this final period of play. This is a free hit for Bristol. Gives them opportunity to get some fresh legs on the court. 2 minutes to play. And this is a really strong lineup. Not that Bristol have a weak lineup, but very strong attacking outfit as that's lifted in the direction of Zach Tremelin.
Game management now from Sharks. If you keep the ball, Bristol aren't going to score, and you win the title. So that's going to be the motivation.
It's Levi Lattinen. Tries to drop it off to Tom Jeffrey. Maximovs uses power and pace. It's Sundberg into the corner. Is there a sting in the tail? Great battle along the board. Just the wrong side of legal.
Yeah, a couple of elbows flying around in there, but seemingly no hard feelings.
There's a national championship to be won. And it matters. It matters to these players. This is their whole year, a whole season coming down to this. They're going to give it their all. We wouldn't have it any other way. The Rivers. Farina, right in front of us here on the wing, gets the pass now. Better Farina. Showing exactly why he is so feared across the league. Good turn of pace, great control, got the shot away. Unable to convert. Final minute of the national final. It's not a done deal just yet. But Bristol, they need possession. I don't think you pull Sprzeniaks. As that's off the crossbar. Nick Yao getting it down the wing. Into the corner, Perina, behind his own goal. Bodies flying at him, it's still Perina. Now he hands it off to Seb de Rivas. Into the corner for Levi Lettinen. Better Perina, getting it back. Again, the conversation is always, when do you pull, you keep it. You can't if you don't have possession. De Rivas. And this is a masterclass from the Great White Sharks. They've been in a duel, they've been in a battle. And now Saletti driving down the wing. Big contact with Nick Yao. As a ball sent the other way. Cleared. After a whistle. Catches someone.
Yeah, lots of protests between the teams. Two players down at the same time. We saw the one to our right, but there's a Sharks player down as well, seemingly hit in the face.
Yeah, don't know what hit Levi Lettinen. I was obviously tracking Adam Saletti and his marauding sprint down the floor. So 6 seconds to play.
This is it, 6 seconds until the title for London Sharks.
It's dumped off into the corner, battling away. And time expires. They are the champions again. The Great White Sharks have been put through it, but they remain unbeaten. A perfect 14-0 season will see them crowned the UKFF EFL National Champions once again.
Oh, congratulations to the Sharks. I mean, they have really had to fight for it today, but brilliant, deserved winners. So much talent, lots of skill. They were patient at times. They had to fight physically at times as well. They've battled through it. The game, for me, turned within 30 seconds or so of the third period. Sharks scored what looked like quite an easy goal when they had their own penalty kill. They were a player down and they still managed to score. And that took them into the lead for the first time in the game. And they didn't really look back after that. So a brilliant effort. Bristol might be ruining the fact that they were left themselves a little bit too open in the start of the third period, and that maybe is where the game got away from them. But fantastic battle overall. I mean, two brilliant teams, really well fought. Lots of respect between the teams, and hopefully we'll be able to hear the captain's speeches.
And Maxwell's just complimenting the opposition, saying how proud he is of his team. Saying we're third last year, second this year, you know what that means. We'll see you next year. Just thanking the refs, complimenting Bristol on a brilliant semi-final victory over Cambridge and the battle that they gave them today. Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about the journey that the Sharks have gone on. You've alluded to it. They've not had it easy today at all. The scoreline in the first game looks, oh, that was dead easy. That was so simple. It wasn't. It was a duel. It was a battle. It was incredibly physical. And it sort of spilled over into this game and other games. That's made this win even more impressive, I'd say, but also way more difficult because of what they had to expend to get past the 4-2.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very impressed by the sort of emotional management of the Sharks team. It could have collapsed for them in the semi-final against UCM when they were really being physically challenged. They managed to push through that one. Great scenes. And yeah, I mean, they're obviously delighted to win the title, but yeah, they've had to exert what might be close to their maximum to get there, and that is very impressive on its own. And on Bristol, they can be very proud of themselves. To come second in what is a very competitive league is impressive no matter what, and they really took Sharks all the way in this game. Really impressive, and hopefully a lot of these players will be coming back next season and hoping to continue on and challenge for the title again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at, Maximov said it in his post-game speech of, third, second, you know what that means. But Bristol have really been on a journey this year. They've grown as a club. They've got a lot more, or maybe not numerically more players. So I'm pretty sure they have. But also, they've strengthened. They've brought in a lot of new bodies, a lot of new players, and they've really shown a lot this year. And especially today, a fantastic win over Cambridge when people didn't have them as the favourites, and then they've pushed the Sharks about as far as anybody can push them.
Yeah, I mean, it's standing here next to the benches and so on, we sort of hear snippets of what the teams are talking about, and it seems like the Bristol club have a really nice culture. They trust each other. They're really happy to be playing for the team and getting as far as challenging for the title. 2-2 going into the third period of the national final is a brilliant position to be in. So I'm sure that they'll be feeling confident going into next season. Sharks, meanwhile, we know what they're like. They are ruthless, they're relentless, and they have been dominant results-wise this season. They had to fight for it today, but 14 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. That is a phenomenal season by any standards, and really pleased for the team. Brilliant, yeah, and I'm sure they'll be coming back right again next year to get the next one in a row.
Let's talk about this game. I've just got the shot chart in front of me. Red, Bristol, 31 shots in the game. That's a respectable total. Sharks, 68 shots in the entire contest. That is unbelievable. I'm not bothered who your player of the game is. It's my player of the game. It's Prezeniaks. Now, I'm obviously going to ask you for yours, but what a goalkeeping performance, a really solid defensive performance, I thought, but my goodness, dealing with 68 shots, only conceding 4, that's tremendous. And one of them, oh my goodness, how unfortunate. In fact, 2 of them, how unfortunate do you want to be?
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, you are the person who is the last line of defence, and he has put literally every part of his body on the line, and I think he saved a shot with every part of his body in that game. It was great. There are a few excellent reflex saves, sticking the hand out, getting his helmet on it as well. Brilliant. For my Bristol player, the goalkeeper was very impressive. I think the player who sort of represented the team the way that they were playing for a lot of the game was Johan Rosberg. He did get a penalty at one point for his exuberance, but he was very dynamic in the middle. They had to defend a lot, but he seemed to be sort of have unlimited battery. You know, he's one of those kind of players, Duracell Bunny-esque, pulling them forward.
Before we head to the trophy presentation, who is your Great White Sharks player of the game?
Yeah, again, some outstanding performances overall, and actually played really well as a team. So kind of difficult to pick out one player, but I think number 17, Daniel Svoronovic. Sorry if Daniel's rewatching this back, but a great performance representative of what the team was achieving as a whole, leading from the front, scored penalty really nicely, penalty shot, and overall was pulling the team forward in what was a close game. So really impressed with his performance. But so many standouts. I mean, the team as a whole really well oiled. They work well as a unit. They trust each other. So very impressive to see.
Yeah, completely agree with everything you said there. Tvoronovic's very impressive performance. Again, he had the goals, but like I say, he really drove the team forward and was just a positive outlet and an outlet if ever there was pressure or who they're going to look for. He is one of their key players. I thought Levi Lattinen again. Then the numbers won't be there for him like they have been in the past, but he had a brilliant game to cap off a great season. And Petr Prina, always so dangerous.
Yeah, I think Levi probably still finishes the league season as the top point scorer after today. Not quite as productive this tournament, but that's the thing, being part of a team, you're not always going to stand out as an individual, and I think a lot of other players did pull forward. We saw some great skills on show from Adam Soletti, who is very much a leader at the back, really powerful player. Chris Holmes as well scored a couple of goals today and can be really pleased with his performance. So yeah, lots of standout performances. I think we've seen a really good day of floorball. I think the EFL has really represented itself well today, and been great to be a part of.
An excellent day of floorball. Just before we do get to the trophy presentations, just a huge thank you to anybody watching this for taking the time out to enjoy and celebrate along with us what has been a great day of floorball, and of course to the whole team behind the camera. This would not have been possible without them, their hard work, dedication, making sure today happened.
Thank you as well to Patrick Sundberg, who's the EFL director. He's put a lot of effort in as a volunteer to make sure that every event in the EFL has gone ahead, but the national finals as well. A lot of credit to Patrick, who's done a fantastic job in his first year as EFL director. And thank you as well, Darren, for coming to commentate. It's been really good. Hopefully it's been entertaining. We had some trouble with the live stream, the internet maybe not as good as we wanted it to be, but we've enjoyed doing our commentary. Alistair Seven as well has come and joined us as co-coms as well, and has been working on the camera for this one, as well as Alex Adams, who's been managing the live stream for us. So yeah, really pleased. Great day. One team that we haven't mentioned as well in the thank yous, our refereeing team, all the way from Norway. Thank you so much to them for coming. It's been a fantastic day. They've really kept the spirit of the EFL in such a great shape, managed the games really well. It makes such a difference to have such a strong refereeing team for this kind of event. So I know all the teams are very grateful and have a lot of respect for that.
Completely agree. Big thank you to Daniel Nordvoholm and Espen Shetner for taking the time, travelling over and doing a brilliant job and managing what were some tasty encounters. I think every game gave them something to do, something to think about. Maybe even more so than in past finals. So we're just waiting for players and teams to emerge for the trophy presentation. So whilst we wait, we're just going to pause for a moment and then we'll come back with the trophy presentation. So it's the trophy presentations.
Roll.
So we've mic'd Patrick Sundberg so we can hear the
Indeed.
pronouncements.
Hopefully it works. So I think the season is now officially over, and I guess since there's no one else from UKFF sort of officially here, I'll do it even though I played the game, which might be a bit weird, but I'll do it anyway. So I think it's been a great season. We've had a lot of great games. We have some improvements, as always, for next year. And I would really like to thank the Norwegian referees. Did a brilliant job. And I would also like to actually officially apologize for some of the spectators not behaving. So, this year we have a new third place, Cambridge. Who's going to come and accept the button? Well deserved. And hey! And I think it's going to take forever, so I'm just going to hand out the medals. And I'll give you the rest ones. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
So Cambridge, third place in the national finals.
Right. I'll hold on for the photographer. And improving one step, season on season. Second place this year goes to Bristol. Oh, and I'll hand out the medals as well. And oh yes, let's do a quick picture as well.
So after a fantastic battling performance all day, Bristol claim their runner-up medals and trophy and seem very pleased with that, as they should. Come with us. Come with us.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
So
And last but not least, in some ways it feels like a repeat, but at least it was a different final this year, which and I think the final was more even for longer part of the game, which was good. So hopefully the rest of our teams can pick up and make it even more close for next year. Winners of 2024-25, Great White Sharks.
they've done it again, 2025 EFL National Champions, the Great White Sharks. After another brilliant campaign, lift the trophy.
Wrap these on, guys. We might need them though. Yeah. Got a few more here. Big congratulations.
I'm just waiting for the official photographer. And then we have some individual awards to present. So 4 individual player awards. And then the Great White
So
Sharks
the last
can go and get their
thing
party
for
started.
the season is a few of the player awards. And I will say that I will improve on this process for next year because I think I had my last votes at about 1350 today. And I think my subjective way of weighing the various votes also leaves room for improvement. But I've done my best. So if we start off with keeper of the season, we got the most votes for Lucas. Yeah.
So Brandel Cheng, goaltender of the London Sharks, wins goalie of the year.
And next up is defender of the season, which this year, and I'm not sure if it was the same last year, Adam won it today.
Adam Saletti, also of the Great White Sharks, wins defender of the year. Immediate reaction.
Yep, deserved.
Got this. Should I do attacker or player? I'll do attacker first. And it might sound a bit repetitive, but unfortunately it goes to Great White as well. Levi, you got the attacker of the season.
Levi Lettinen.
That was a lot of goals. A lot of goals this year.
He was the points leader. He had a fantastic campaign.
And the last award is player of the season, which is not actually here today. So in terms of me trying to weigh together the various votes, I've decided that Will Palmer of Rhinos gets the player of the season. He really made their season.
Will Palmer.
So many congratulations to Will. I'll keep hold of it on his behalf. And with that, I think it's a wrap. We're done.
So that brings a draw to the end of our season. What a brilliant season it has been so far. Any final remarks, Francis?
Yeah, brilliant. Really enjoyed this national finals. I think all the teams done such a good job just to get this far, but also to play as well as they did today. We've seen some fantastic games, brilliant performances. Yeah, fantastic. Really looking forward as well to next season.
Yes. Well, we've got a summer ahead of us, and then it all starts again for 2025-26. The Great White Sharks have done it again. They have retained their national championship after a fantastic contest. They have clinched it 4-2 with a win over Bristol. Thank you so much for joining us this season. Thank you so much for joining us for what's been a fantastic day of floorball, and we cannot wait to do it all again next year.